Hi, I'm Grace Burden, and for my Biology 112 Protostomes video project, I chose to do it about squid. So, squid have been around for millions and millions of years, and they all come from the kingdom Animalia, phylum Mollusca, class Cephalopoda, subclass Coleoda, how do you say that? Order Teuthida, and then they can be divided into either Myopsina or Ojospina once they become more specialized. For the European squid, which is the most common, they're going to be in the Myospina subclass. I'm sorry, suborder. And then their genus is Loligo and the species is Vulgaris. So the common name for the European squid would then be Loligo vulgaris. There are over 300 different species of squid that are on this earth, ranging in shapes, sizes, colors, location, feeding, habitat, all that. But this is just to kind of see how many different variations there are. So then their natural habitat, like I said, is a little bit dependent based on the species. Some prefer cooler waters, whereas some are warmer. For example, the giant squid is going to stay in cold, deep waters. So you're going to see them down here in like the Antarctic Ocean, whereas the European squid are going to be over here by Europe, down the coast of Africa. Over here, you'll see like the flying Japanese squid. You'll see the Boston squid over here from about Maine down to Venezuela. And the nature of their habitat is a little bit dependent on the species as well. Some of them prefer the more shallow waters, whereas some are deeper, but their average habitat is about 1,000 meters deep. And they spend most of their time in the mesopelagic zone, which is about 200 to 1,000 meters deep. This is because they're open water swimmers. So during the day, they're just kind of swimming around or like hiding. And then when they go to feed, they'll move up into the epipelagic zone, which is the surface down to about 200 meters. Something that's helped these creatures survive for millions of years is that if their habitat is destroyed, they'll just move somewhere else. So you see squid all over the world or on the coasts of every continent and every ocean. So a squid gets its food by using its tentacles to grab its prey. A squid has 2 tentacles and 8 arms. This is kind of a common misconception. But you can see here, it's already grabbed it with the tentacles. Now those arms are pulling it in. They use the suction cups on each of the arms and on the tips of the tentacles to grab the prey, latch onto it with the tiny teeth that ring the edges of each suction cup. The number, type, and arrangement of those suction cups differs between species, but they all have those same teeth. So it'll then pull the prey in towards itself using its arms, and then the beak, which is right here, will break its prey down into smaller pieces. And then the radula is this tongue-looking thing right here that's also lined with rows of tiny teeth that'll continue to grind the food down even more. So another great adaptation kind of characteristic of these animals is that they will follow their food sources if necessary. So if there's no food in that area or they're migrating throughout the year, they'll follow them. So squid are primarily predators, but obviously they're prey to some animals as well. The smaller squids are going to be prey to penguins, seals, sharks, whales, dolphins, large fish like albacore tuna or coho salmon, as well as birds when they're some of the species that stay closer to the surface, as well as other squid. They're cannibals, and humans, which we'll talk more about in a little bit. Squid are also then predators to invertebrates, so like polychaetae worms, fish, mollusks, crustaceans, such as like shrimp, and then again, other squids. So some evolved traits that we've seen are those long tentacles that I was mentioning. Those are right here. And this is especially essential for like the giant squid because it's hard for them to sneak up on something. So these will allow them to attack their prey from a distance. Right here, you can see the chromatophore cells, which help kind of camouflage the animal. These cells contain a pigment and reflect the light so that the squid can then change colors and blend in with the surroundings to avoid predators. A lot of squid have large eyes compared to the rest of their body, especially the giant squid. And in the dark, deep waters that the giant squid live, this large eye is really, really important to seeing both prey and predators around them. All squid also have ink, which can be expelled if they're scared or threatened in any way to help like distract predators. Their beak is then made of chitin, so it's super strong. It's hard enough to break through whatever prey they're eating. And then they have a siphon, which we can see a video here. They're projecting themselves backwards because it's taking in water through the mantle cavity and then expelling it down through the hyponymy. So that's their kind of way of locomotion. Next, please. There we go. Their importance to mankind in the ecosystem. So squid are very important to our ecosystem. They're a major component of our food webs, being both prey and predators to many different species, and then being worldwide. Again, very important then to the ecosystem. As for humankind, very important both culturally and economically. Squid are used as bait in commercial fishing a lot, and then they're a huge food source. So you see them in calamari, sushi. Their ink is also used. So big demand on that multi-million dollar industry with squid. Here are my sources for you. And I'll leave you with one final thought. How does a squid go into battle? Well armed. All right, thank you.